but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Alright, today's video is going to be, I would say, the biggest WWE breaking news story they've had in quite a long time. Nothing really even comes to mind what would be second to this. Maybe Goldberg returning, but even that, it's a big deal, but I wouldn't say it's like the level of this. Daniel Bryan is now officially, and I can't believe I'm even saying it, but Daniel Bryan officially able to return to a WWE ring. I know there was talks for almost a year that he was always cleared by some doctors to wrestle, and it was always WWE officials who were always giving him a hard time, that were, I guess, looking out for him as the person instead of him as the wrestler. And he was never really able to get the green light from the place where he needed it the most. As, I guess, the week started becoming more close to Mania, there was always, it seemed like they were kind of teasing that Daniel Bryan may be getting in the ring, so I feel like this has kind of been going on for a while, and they knew that he was able to wrestle. But now, I guess it's official, he can kind of come back, and it's honestly unreal. I remember sitting in my car, and how did it happen? I was on Twitter or something, and just people just started going nuts, and it was just got notification after notification, people texting me, there's group chats, there's calls even. I had one call from someone like, hey, is this Daniel Bryan thing real? I'm like, well, I guess. But it definitely really shook the whole wrestling community. To see a guy who deserves it so much, like I was there at WrestleMania 30, and just seeing him come up from WrestleMania 28, 29, 30, 31, it's really been an uphill battle for him. It's always like he gets there and then he just takes 10 steps back and then 2 steps forward and then another 10 steps back. And that retirement speech he did, I honestly thought that was it. I was like, you know, it sucks, but sometimes a guy just has to accept that his fate isn't doing what he loves to do. I know it happened with Edge, and he eventually was able to come to terms with it. Happened with Steve Austin, happened to McFoley, Christian. But it's good to see a story where a guy who loved wrestling so much, and I watch Total Divas here and there, but they made a whole storyline out of it where the guy just wants to get back in the ring, and you can see the actual pain like on his face, and I guess even following him in ROH, you knew that it was like wrestling and getting to WWE was always like that lifelong goal, winning at WrestleMania, and then unfortunately losing his dad. It just seemed like a really shitty 2 years for Daniel Bryan, and I was so happy when they actually let him be the general manager on SmackDown, where it's like, hey, you may not be able to wrestle, but you have a role on TV, you're still in the public eye, and that's really making the best out of a bad situation. Now that this bad situation's gone for now, and hopefully for good, I guess it's time to look forward to see what he would actually do at WrestleMania. And I know a lot of people are making their dream match lists, like I want Bryan to do this. And yeah, man, it's I read a tweet about this being like Shawn Michaels 2002, where he's been gone for, it wasn't even 2 years isn't honestly that long of a period, but in those 2 years, WWE has made so many superstars. We've already seen Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan, but a new Seth Rollins, you have Finn Balor, you have Nakamura, you have guys in NXT, you have the Miz thing. I think the Miz, I know a lot of people kind of shit on that, but I feel that match has WrestleMania quality all over it. The story, the build, everything from the way they started in the first NXT to that SmackDown, the Smack Talk segment. It's everything about the Miz versus Daniel Bryan. It just has WrestleMania all over it. And I know people are like, oh, Miz can't this, Miz that. Man, it's in wrestling, sometimes it isn't about like the actual match quality. It's the fact that this story has been built up more than anything on the WrestleMania card as of right now. Maybe you might have seen an Undertaker, but that match is leaps and bounds more interesting story-wise than it would be, you know, just Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler, for example. I guess the plan now is having Daniel Bryan and Shane versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which is great. I honestly thought they were going to do... what were they going to do? Actually, I think that was always the plan. I know that before it was like McMahon's versus Zayn and Owens, but Vince is like 70 years old, but when Survivor Series was happening, I know I was talking to people about this. I really thought they were going to do Kurt Angle versus Daniel Bryan, GM versus GM, because it's always cool WrestleMania time having SmackDown versus Raw. I know they do it at Survivor Series that one time a year, but having the two general managers go at it to really, brand supremacy I think it would be a cool concept. But that leads me to SmackDown now, where he came out to the ring, and this is actually the second week in a row I've watched SmackDown from top to bottom. And that never happens. I'm usually never home on Tuesdays, at least at around 8 o'clock. But no, I was home, and I made sure to be, like, ready. I knew Daniel Bryan was going to kick off SmackDown. He came out. He's great at talking. That's the one thing I think people don't give Daniel Bryan too much credit for. That man put on a great retirement speech. He put on a great return speech. And you really feel the fact that this guy is passionate about wrestling, and it's not like him cutting a promo just because he has to. It's the fact that he wants to be there and whatever. That's how I feel, at least. The return promo was great. He has the fans, like, again in the palm of his hand, and he just went from being general manager to probably top 3 baby faces, and maybe even number 1. And I would put him, AJ Styles, and I don't even know who number 3 would be. Maybe John Cena. I know it's not Roman Reigns for sure. But just went from bottom to top in a promo, really. And then came out afterwards, and that's when you knew something was going to happen, where it was him and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's like, man, you guys you're fired. And then they beat the hell out of him. I'm like, oh shit. Like, maybe a couple punches here and there. And but no, Daniel Bryan started punching him, and then he did the kicks, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's he's just throwing himself around now. Then came the apron powerbomb, and I was like, you're going to put him back in retirement. Literally just powerbombed his ass back in retirement. Great feuds, great matches, great promos, and looking forward to the next 2 weeks. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah. 2 weeks today, we are leaving for WrestleMania. Incredible. I still haven't got my stuff ready yet. I have an idea of what I want to get signed. And actually, I do have a Daniel Bryan ticket for Sunday morning, which I am selling still. So if anyone is interested in meeting Daniel Bryan the day he returns to wrestling, message me. I have a Daniel Bryan VIP, as well as a Randy Orton one, which I am selling as well. So if you are interested, we can talk. Just message me on Instagram or Twitter. But yeah, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton VIPs. Daniel Bryan is Sunday at 8 a.m. and then Randy Orton is Saturday 1 to 3. So yeah, let me know. But that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.